TikTok accounts even that have low views because of the quality of video that's being put out. Like sometimes videos are over edited, and if you over edit videos for TikTok, like they a lot of times they won't get a lot of views, and so we've had to kind of pull stuff like that out. Sometimes you can use ads, and you can spend, like you were saying, like a couple dollars a day just to like start getting traction on content for home service companies. That's a really easy way to get your brand in front of people by using targeted zip codes.
Today's episode is brought to you by one of our show partners, UpFrog.
UpFrog is the OG when it comes to pricing transparency online. They find system replacement leads through paid ads and have developed an entire system to drive those hard-to-find system replacement opportunities, nurture the leads, and book them into sold systems before your team arrives to help you grow your business.
Learn more at upfrog.io.
Today's episode is powered by Cirrus Systems.
Cirrus is all about removing the clutter and unnecessary touch points to run your home service business profitably.
They use AI dispatching to get the right tech to the right call automatically and job time efficiency to ensure your entire team runs like a profit-generating machine.
Get a tech upgrade for your business at get.sarah.tech/service-business-mastery.
Yo, Joshua, really fast, I want to talk about online scheduling for the trades and how they should be affordable, effective, and easy to manage. Let's take a really quick second here to share a little bit about the latest group of experts that we've teamed up with, Autobot.ai. Our team of industry experts has developed a best-in-class scheduling app that seamlessly integrates with your CRM. Every booked job goes directly into your software and becomes one of our advanced marketing analytics, which is really cool. We can automatically select the marketing campaign of your choice based on how the customer came to your site.
Yeah, Tersh, those industry-leading analytics tells you everything that you're going to want to know about your lead, where they came from, what they did before scheduling, and what page they converted on, plus other things. On average, about 75% of people who start a booking with our app complete it, but we'll give you a more granular reporting that shows conversion rates based on marketing source and medium to help improve your marketing efforts.
So honestly, with no contracts, affordable monthly rates, and you really don't have anything to lose. And so it's a great program to try out. And if you use SBM, when you go to sign up for it, you'll actually save $1,500 on the setup fees. So honestly, give it a shot. Tell us what you think.
Hello, everyone out there in podcast world. Go have a wonderful day. You're listening to Washington Service Business Mastery. We are live at Epic 2025 in Orlando, Florida. You may hear a little bit of background noise. We apologize for that. There's breakout events going on all around us, and the presenter's about to get on stage. So we've had Jen on the show before.
You don't.
Yeah, I've never talked to Trish on the show.
I've never talked to you on the show. So this is going to be great. Looking forward to this. It was actually Epic 2024 when you recorded last, so that's really cool.
Yeah, we replaced you with
yearly.
Yeah.
I'll be here next year.
That's probably why it's the most downloaded episode we've ever had.
Could be in this one.
Yeah. So welcome to the show. For those who don't know you, explain what you do, because it's not just a marketing agency. You do a lot.
Well, we're less. We do less than that. So our sole focus, McKee our marketing. We are a social media agency, so we only do social media, mostly organic, but we also do paid social. And then I also have a podcast that's produced by Service Business Mastery, so the Key to Growth podcast, where we do talk about all things marketing for the trades. Oh, and we specialize in the trades.
Okay, so you don't do anything like consultancy, things like that?
Like, we have a few clients that are not in the trades, but that is our main focus for sure.
You know what's funny? So, Leslie's been a client of ours for like 4 years or so, but the first client she got in Numbing was one of our early clients too, and she introduced us, and that's how it's funny how things work out, because Leslie was like always one of those people that like just get the view of everything coming and what they think. This is really, she's like a connector, just like we're always connected. She's like, oh, you gotta meet my social media person. I'm like, is this the purple hair? Like, what is this? I like it.
Yeah, Leslie was my first plumbing client. She was actually given to me by a friend of mine who had Leslie as a client, was just doing some like really basic things for her, and then she was like getting a full-time job, so she's like, oh, I need somebody to take over. You could take her on. And she's like, but she wants way more than what I'm doing. And so then when I talked to Leslie, she's like, I want to be on video. I want to be here. I want to be there. And I was like, cool. I want to do that too. She was my first TikTok client that I ever had. And so at the time, this was like 2021, January 2021. So TikTok was on everybody's mind, but no one really knew what to do with it. And so
Was it TikTok then, or was it?
yeah, it was TikTok. TikTok blew up in 2020 with the pandemic. That's when it kind of like reached the millennial crowd. And so once we started working with Leslie, a lot of people wanted what Leslie had. And so that's how I even got in the trades industry, because people were like, who's doing your social media? And so Leslie was able to, and at the time, like, I think it was just me. I may have had one other person on my team, but I was just doing social media for Leslie.
What exactly does it mean to do TikTok?
What do you mean?
Like Josh is, explain it to somebody like Josh, who he can't even open the TikTok when I see him a text message.
You have videos out there. Who does these?
Not Josh. Not Josh. So
Don't
Like, he
if
doesn't
you
even have
want
the app.
if you want your
Such a
TikTok to be
problem.
watched, don't send it.
yes,
Because if you send it to me, I will purposely.
You know what? Send it to me. My brother sent me a TikTok yesterday, and I was like, I swear to God, I've sent you this video before. Like, it was like
that's
we
like
sent each
every
other dog
conversation I
videos.
have with Josh. He'll send me a random one. I was like, yeah, I sent it to you like 4 months ago.
Yeah, but that's
The few times I actually sit down and oh, this is a good one. Hey, true. Oh yeah, I sent that one to you already.
So one thing that I love about TikTok, and unfortunately for consumers, you don't know about how long it'll be here as an app. But one thing I love about it is the algorithm. So the algorithm is so different than any other social platform, because the other social platforms are really based on like and so you connect with people on Facebook and then they see your content, and you connect with people on Instagram and they see your content. On TikTok, you don't have to have any followers in order for people to see your content, and that's why it's so good at sending us things that we like, because it doesn't matter who the creator is. It's not like the algorithm is really based on what we consume, which could be weird, but that's like what we like. And then we get to see videos, we can see possibly new creators, and that's what's so cool is that if you're creating content, no matter what industry you are in business, you're way more likely to get in front of people who actually care about what you're talking about because of the way that the algorithm works.
So it's different now. The algorithm, I feel like it's different now than it was
Conspiracy theorists.
last year. For real though, because like there's certain like creators that I used to see all the time.
Yeah.
I love their content, and then I didn't see, and then all of a sudden they pop back up in my feed,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, where have you been for the past
Right.
month or two?
Well, so a lot of people say that the algorithm changed whenever it went offline for like
When they changed
however
over to like
many.
the
That's
triggers.
what they say.
It was just an excuse to get like ads and
Well, Meta's. Oh my gosh. Live, sponsored, live, then something I want.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
So-
Ignore.
It's really, I think that it's an easy algorithm to kind of play with, because it's really based on what you're watching. So yes, like sometimes, like I just saw a creator that I haven't seen in a while that my husband and I think is so funny, and I was like, she's good. I'm like, where is it? And I go and look, and she's actually been posting. I don't know why I haven't seen her content, but it's also just like, the algorithm is sensitive, right? So like if you start watching something, then all of a sudden you're going to see a bunch of stuff about that same topic, right? And so you have to be intentional. Like right now I'm seeing so many like realtor marketing. I'm like, what? Like, where did y'all come from? I don't care. Like, go. Like, try to swipe them away so I don't see it anymore. But you kind of have to play with the algorithm, and whether or not Meta bought the whatever, like, I don't know.
Go unfollow Facebook.
Right, you gotta.
Why was I following
Unfollow
Facebook?
everyone.
I don't know. Block Facebook. And all of a sudden my feed goes back to normal.
I know, but everyone's like, oh, go look, you got put on this list, and now you're following these people, and like I went and looked, I'm like, no, that didn't happen to me, so I don't know.
It definitely
I
happened to
don't
me.
know.
I went and unfollowed Facebook, which I've never followed before, and I blocked them. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing all these creators that I've seen before, and I'm like, okay.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
Do you see success on only paid? I know, obviously, like Facebook kind of.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
think like contractors think paid for social things with Facebook.
Yeah.
So, but I know some people do at least put some money towards TikTok. I don't know if that's will not help me out.
So we've actually tested it in a few different markets, but it's been a few months because we just weren't getting good results. And every market is really different on how, which I don't know if you experienced this on your side, but like for us, that not only like does the content differ through markets of like what people actually engage with and will convert with, but also the offers are so different throughout markets. Even like markets that are close together, like you think like Florida, well probably everyone in Florida like the same thing, but like no, it's so different on what people really engage with. And so it's the same on TikTok, that I think that there are some markets that are doing really well with TikTok as a lead generation source, but the markets that we tested it in were not. They were either like not getting leads or none of the leads were viable. But you have to like make TikTok, so it's the same thing. Like you still want to create content that's really native, because otherwise it's like, well, like you don't want to. I think a lot of people like try to create an ad, like
Oh yeah.
and like create an ad to put on TikTok, and then you're like swipe, like no one wants to see that. And I think honestly,
Yeah, if it's obvious, they decide to swipe past it. But there's the ones that do the best, and actually you get on the platform are the ones that are like, I couldn't really call it this ad.
Yeah.
right.
And I was like, well, it's kind of engaging. It's like, oh yeah, and then this thing. Or
Yeah.
They share a story about something, and it makes it more real.
Well,
It's
and,
just
like-
like, hey, buy my product.
A lot of TikTok advertising is done with TikTok shop and influencers, so that's what we see a lot of, and probably what you're talking about.
The TikTok shop.
Yeah.
Like I will say, on one hand, I do buy things off TikTok.
Oh,
I would
too.
say I buy a lot, but I do buy things off TikTok shop. But man, I am so sick of seeing everybody and their brother like
Well,
buy
if you
this product.
click on what happens with
Well,
TikTok shop too?
It's funny. It's like certain ones go viral. It's like, good lord, like everybody got it.
I know, but what happens is that if you click on it, so like sometimes, because it does get you, right? It's good advertising. I buy off the TikTok shop sometimes. It is legit, which is everyone's question. Like, is it legit? Yes, it's legit. It'll send to you. But like, once you click on it and then you like add it to cart and you don't buy it, like every single video you see is going to be every person else.
Sometimes I will buy it, and then
You
for the
still
next
see
2
it.
weeks, I see until I like hit not interested about 4 times, and then it goes ill.
Yeah, so it's really a great place for products, and not to say that services can't work there, but it's something that's worth testing. We're testing a lot of different creatives. I definitely recommend like having a good understanding of what makes a good TikTok video organically before you just start trying to like run ads on TikTok. Like if you don't understand the platform, so you might not run ads on TikTok if you don't understand TikTok, but
I throw some money at sometimes for the podcast and stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing.
don't do that. That's like playing the casinos at Vegas. That's
I'm getting yelled at. It's
Like,
like, well, let's see what happens. Are we gonna get some
That's
followers?
yeah, that's like when me and Jason.
Well, and then we get
like,
followers, and I'm like, I can't pronounce your name. Like, I don't think you're in the HVAC.
I don't think you're real.
Plumbing,
I
electric.
think you're-
Do you guys get
Oh.
followers for the podcast, or you just get followers on TikTok?
what do you mean?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like all of it's important, but like, do you get more like subscribers or just followers on TikTok?
Oh, for the podcast?
Yeah.
Follow the TikTok.
Yeah,
I think I don't. I don't.
he would know.
I don't know that we can directly correlate because we have 18,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
But I don't know that there's.
Do you have a lot of engagement?
I don't.
Who is watching?
Not either one of us.
So we because we're doing like stuff like this, like video, so,
Right.
and I mean our hack is we long form content and they
Right.
chop it up.
Short,
So this
yeah.
would create
Ton. It could take.
10,
I mean,
15 different
Yeah.
clips, and they all get posted. So we're posting them. And,
I will say,
we do see the numbers, but like getting deep, I think that's probably I was gonna ask you about this. Like social media analytics
yeah.
is a like it's just noise. Like to me, it's like when you put together something for a partnership.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Carol, for our podcast manager, does, and she puts all this, and it's like fantastic. Like
But we don't know if it's.
I don't know if that's good, not good. I'm like, oh, looks like a lot of people watch her stuff.
Well, so if you're looking at like engagement and clicks
yeah.
and all that on Facebook, is it the same as TikTok, and is it the same as Instagram, and it's like TikTok or no, I'm sorry, Instagram Reels engagement the same as your Instagram or post, and same with Facebook post versus Facebook stories or YouTube story or IG.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot. But are you asking like, is it weighted the same as in like
Yeah.
people that are?
Does it matter? I mean, is it
Okay,
Or I guess
so
what metrics should we use?
Yeah.
okay, if we're talking about the podcast, we're looking at it from a broad, like we're looking at this overview, right? And so all visibility matters because in like obviously it does because you guys continue to have more as the podcast and the two of you have been able to grow your personal brands and start these other businesses with this level of expertise because of the visibility that you have. And so across all the platforms, that's really important. If you're not selling anything, then like, you know,
That's
it's
been
so
a challenge.
then-
Church is 7 or 8 years doing this, and
But
from
then
3
you're
doing
looking
it.
at,
Yeah, like we started doing presentations, the conversation where I was like, we're standing up here giving away anything and everything, and then they're like, well, you have a call to action now. It's like, what?
Yeah.
We give it away free.
Right.
Free.
And to subscribe, yes, is important. So then it's like, what is that next level? So when you look at social media as like the top of your marketing funnel, and there's a lot of it that then, you know, you can move people down even on social media in your marketing funnel. But that top level, you do want to get like some sort of contact information from people so that you can take something to the next level. So yes, you might not have anything to sell today. And I mean, y'all do have some things to sell, but like when you started, you might not have anything to sell, but you just start building some sort of list that you can come back to.
And so, like, for years, people were telling me, you need to be collecting everybody's email addresses. And for years, I was like, why? I don't have anything to sell. And I don't want to write a newsletter.
Yeah.
So I don't want
But
to promise a
you
newsletter.
start doing that then?
Yeah.
Emails?
Yeah, we started doing it.
Because we had
got
the Facebook group, and we asked for that stuff, but then we weren't doing anything with it.
Yeah.
So now all of our groups, we want to make sure it's like a legit person.
Yeah.
But then we usually give them some kind of lead magnets in exchange for their email, and then we'll get an email list, and they can decide if they keep on to them or not.
Right.
But
then that's like a warmer audience. So like when you look at social media, even all the followers, like sometimes it's hard to get views, or sometimes your content doesn't reach very many people, or sometimes, you know, like it's insane like how you can have an offer that no one knows about, you know, like even as much visibility as Service Business Mastery has, like how many people know about your offer, you know? So then it's like you have to keep coming at them from these different angles of like.
That's a good point.
And then
We should probably be doing posts or TikTok videos on the benefit of like phone tap and Trade Automation Pros and things like that. I will say I created some videos for the Automation Foundation inside of our school platform and chopped up those videos in, I think, of like Opus clips or something. And the first one, I was like, okay, that's actually a good little clip. I probably would watch that. And then like the second video, like it was a full length video, 20 minutes long, and Opus clip, like every video, I was like, this is terrible.
The first time I used Opus, I was like, yes, this is amazing. And then it's like never given me that quality again. And I'm like,
yeah,
but like you've had so
I've
much.
tried it, and I'm just like,
I can get it.
sometimes it's like, okay, that's not bad, but other times I'm like,
And it's like gives itself an A+ on like
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is terrible. There's no context, and that's the worst. Like
Right.
that will tick me off so bad if I'm watching a video, whether it's a TikTok or a short, reel, but there's no context, and all of a sudden they just start talking about things, and I'm like I'm supposed to know what the hell you're talking about.
yeah.
like that 3 fix.
But you can do that as a hook. Like if you can pull somebody in, but then it's always good. Like sometimes I'll tell our video editor, like even with a trade split video, you know, like if someone's doing something really gross, like they pull this big root out or something, but they like the video will start with them just like staring at a hole. I'm like, no one cares. Like we got to start the video with the crazy thing and then come back to the story. So like you can start with a hook, but then you like need to explain what it is that you're.
How do you
That's
take like
no.
books and
Yeah.
stuff? Because
How do you
like,
know what book to do?
what outside of us creating content, I've never even known like what the hook was. Now I know, and I'm like, okay, that first 3 seconds is like super
Yeah.
important to get them into the video so that way more people will see it.
Hello, home service professionals. Do you want to maximize your marketing budget? Then you need to be using call tracking from CallRail. Let's say you noticed a spike in new leads this month. To find out what's driving them, you just log into your CallRail dashboard. Is my new Facebook ad outperforming my other ads? Or is paid search knocking it out of the park? Or maybe it's time to retire those newspaper ads. Since CallRail assigns a unique phone number to each of my marketing efforts, I know where my best leads come from and which efforts to scrap. CallRail shows you your most cost-effective marketing channels so you can get back to business. Go to callrail.com/SBMpod and try it for free.
I want to give a huge shout out to Market Storm for sponsoring today's episode.
You've heard of Google ads, Facebook ads, and SEO, but did you know that there's an entire ecosystem, like 80% of the internet, that ads can be served on that you barely heard about?
That's where Market Storm operates.
They leverage data science and AI to build customer profiles for your ideal customers and get your ads in front of prospects before they are ready to hire a pro, planting your brand in their minds early and often.
To chat with the team about how they can help you grow your business, visit marketstorm.ai.
There's so many different ways that you can do a hook, but yeah, a hook is like the first 3 seconds of a video or something, 1 to 3 seconds, like something that's actually going to hook somebody's attention and make them stop and watch your video, which I think a lot of contractors struggle with this, and a lot of people will start a video with like, hey, I'm Jen and I work at blah blah blah. Like, okay, nobody cares about that. Like, no one's gonna watch your video if that's how you started. So
Unless you're like already famous.
but even like
if
Gary,
you don't-
these videos don't start like that. Like, he starts telling you something, but so you want to start with something that is going to grab somebody's attention, and it could be something in the video. Like, it could be somebody pulling something gross out, or it could be like water flowing, or something that's going to catch somebody's attention. In a talking video, it's like the most important thing, or like something that is it crazy, or like an open loop, right? Like that someone wants to see what the answer is, or the beginning of a story that's something shocking or crazy or something. There's all different ways.
How do we
you can do a
know
hook.
what it is? Because like as a person that works in the trades, there's so many things that we see all the time.
Yeah.
That's so we see it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not impressive. That's not interesting. But then like I have spent so many nights watching the pole barns being built.
Right.
And it's like, are you planning on building a pole barn?
no. It's just so
But I've
interesting.
spent 27 hours watching pole barns.
Oh yeah, I know. And like process videos are super interesting to people. And so you can, especially like you can start, and here's the thing, like how do you know? Like you have to start testing things. And that's the part that
That's
some
the
people
hard
don't want to
part.
do.
Yeah,
And,
because
and
if you don't get results the first time, you're like, I guess
Well,
you just don't have
And I think that's the thing. Like, we have so much content out there, but Church and I never go back and analyze and look at
right.
this
Yeah.
video did really good. Now, why did this one do really good and this one didn't do so good?
Now we did have one with Miss Ruth that did something like 270,000 impressions
Yeah.
Yeah.
on TikTok, I think it was TikTok. And I don't remember why hers did so good. Now we did spend money. We put money behind it initially for just a minute. I mean, $5, not much at all. And then
Do you have engagement or just views?
engagement. I think it's engagement.
Could be.
Yeah.
And it could be because maybe their network or stuff. He's really well known for an HVACR, so now
Right.
a lot of people did something, share, whatever. But
Yeah. Well, okay.
Well, she didn't share it because she didn't even know she had it. She didn't know that we had that video.
Sometimes there's like inflated views on things. I'm not saying this is the case, but sometimes there's inflated views. And so I like to look at engagement at that point. Like, are people actually commenting on it? Because that'll give you a lot more insight into why the video was interesting. So is it something that people are answering a question that was asked? Are they giving their own experience based on whatever the video is? Are they telling you you're wrong? Which like in some cases can be okay. And in a lot of like contractor videos, especially when people are doing things, you'll get a lot of other contractors like commenting their opinion about whatever it is that
There's
you're
one guy that I follow, and all he does is put in water heaters, and like he shows like tearing out a water heater, putting
Yeah.
another water heater back, and then there's so many comments that
Yeah.
are like, "Oh, that doesn't pass code.
Right.
That doesn't pass code."
Right.
And then the guy, he'll respond like one time, and then the rest of them he doesn't respond to really, or he'll say, "Well, what's code?" or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, gee, if it doesn't pass, what is code? Like, why don't you just share that? I get on there and I'm like, and y'all are idiots. Like, but then you're engaging with an idiot. So
Yeah.
then you're like, as the content creator, do you even humor someone who's an idiot?
It just depends. Like in like you have to think with any comments. So if you're a residential home service company and you get comments about things that you're doing, so like if it's coming from, you guys deal with reviews. So like if it's coming from a place of like honest feedback, right? Like that's something that you probably need to address, and you need to address it. It's good to address it publicly, even though it's uncomfortable. It's good to address that publicly. It's good to also address it privately. It's good to use it as a learning experience. If somebody is just trolling you, then you get to decide, like, am I going to respond to this in a way that could be valuable to other people? Even if this person is just being a jerk, like, I could explain something that other people might find valuable.
Yeah.
Or do we need to block them? Because, like, that's the other thing. Like, if this is like a personal attack on somebody because either they know them or they don't know them and they're just being ugly, like, at that point we could block them, because we also don't need, like, especially if I'm running ads and someone starts trolling me, like, absolutely not. Like, I'm spending money here.
You know
and
what's
you
funny
can
when
go.
we run ads? The people that comment on the ads, like, I made a new, like, Google AI video, like, do search and stuff, and people were like, I don't want to see this shit. I'm like, well, don't comment then, idiot. Because now you're going to see the next post.
And it just keeps
Like,
showing up.
the common sense with that stuff. It's like, why are you commenting?
Yeah.
Just scroll really fast.
I know.
Like, the algorithm will say, hey, I don't want to see this again.
People don't understand how social media works. Like, get off my newsfeed. Like, I didn't put
Okay.
myself here.
Yeah,
Like,
like they did. I know. It's so funny when I see the comments like that. I'm like, don't comment.
yeah.
There's so many times where like you'll see somebody like trolling, and then the response is, "Okay, bot." Like, you're just a troll. I mean, you're just a troll. So
Yeah.
we're not going to engage with you, but I'm going to say you're a bot.
Could
So,
be.
It's probably not, but
Right.
then that fires up somebody who's actually a troll.
But, like, can you imagine what kind of life you have that you spend your time just, like, being mean to people that you don't know on the internet?
I swear, some people, they get off of it. It's like that's like how they.
Weird.
It's like how they get through their day almost. It's like they just go and decide to argue with everybody about
So
everything.
silly. But you know what? There was a time where Jason would do that with sports. Like, it was a few years ago where he would, like, argue with people in the comments about sports. And I kept telling him, like, why are you doing this? Like, this is not, it like makes you so angry. And then you're in a bad mood, even though it, like, has not, you don't even know this person. Like, you
want
can
to
move
fight 'em.
on.
And they're like,
I know.
they're like, I'm just gonna. I have a friend of mine who is he's a troll, but he's not a troll like super harmful way. But his is more of just, let's see how funny this can be.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's actually a content creator I follow on TikTok, and he trolls next door. So he literally, like, somebody will post something inside next door in his neighborhood, and his response is just, I mean, he's just trolling these people.
But, like,
And-
serious, like, being serious with them.
Well,
Responding to them?
they feel like it's serious,
Yeah.
but he's not serious
Yeah.
at all. And the ones he picks out are the people who are just being Karens.
Yeah.
Dark.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
it's
I
not
feel like
legit
meme creators
people.
like that.
Yeah.
I think I've seen stuff like that. It's been a few years. Probably gonna show up now
They
on
will.
my TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. Apple's listening to you.
The algorithm.
Android.
Right, my Android.
So what kind of analytics do we look for? Like, how do we know? I mean, obviously we get views and stuff, so we know if
Yeah.
the video does well. But, like, is there something specific or things that we should, like, make a couple KPIs? Like, maybe we should do a little bit more like this.
Yeah.
'Cause this one's working, this one's not. And how do we know it's actually helping our brand versus just like spaghetti on?
Yeah. So we look at engagement. That's, like, our number one analytic to look at, because if people are engaging with the content, it's more likely to get into the news feed, and then you're also able to kind of, like, gauge more of what's happening there. So in general, we're always looking to create content that's going to encourage engagement, because if you don't get engagement on your content, it's likely not going to get in front of very many people. That's when it kind of stops. And you can't do it like that day. You know, like, if you're like okay, so a lot of people create this piece of content and they put it out, and then they're like watching it. Like,
Like a Hulk. Like,
how's it doing?
got a new view.
Nobody liked it, or like someone liked it. Who was that person?
My daughter
Yeah.
was creating some TikToks, and like they're like cooking TikToks or whatever.
Yeah.
And she would like check it, or she'd post it, and about 5 minutes later, she's like, I got 2 views.
Yeah.
And then she'd go back to it. I got 35 views. I got 2 likes. And it's like 20 minutes later, I had 10 likes.
Right.
And I'm like, you're just
So-
gonna sit here and watch this all day?
I know. And the reason I say don't do that is because there is some content that's not going to perform well, and that's okay. But, like, as a business owner, you need to be creating a lot of content. I'm sorry to say that, but you need to be putting out.
Nobody wants.
No, nobody wants to hear that. I'm sorry to say that, but like you should, and so you can do hacks like take a long video and turn it into a whole bunch of stuff. And honestly, like we talked about Opus stuff, and sometimes just like put the stuff out there that isn't that great because at least you're getting content out there, you're getting in front of people. There still could be something in that.
Is there a point to where you're putting out content that is not getting engagement and it's hurting you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like, okay, so one thing that we see a lot is that we'll work with people sometimes, and this isn't to say anything against y'all, but a lot of digital marketing companies will be like, oh yeah, we'll do your social media. And it's like an afterthought. I don't know if y'all do that.
We don't.
But there are a lot. There's not just some. There's a lot of digital marketing agencies that do that. Like, oh, we'll do your social media. And what they really mean is like, we'll post your blog post to your Facebook whenever we put them out there, and we'll
Pretty weak stuff.
Like-
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This week, and we tried doing it like 3.5 years ago, and I was like, our service the way it is isn't like up to my standards. So I'm
Right.
like, we're just gonna not do this.
yeah.
And then I met you, and I'm like, oh, Jen, guess what? You're gonna get some referrals from us because you're way better at this than we are, and I don't want to touch this.
Yeah, and so when that happens, and so now you've got like 6 months of putting out content, a couple times a week or a couple times a month that no one is engaging with. They're containing outside links, like they're really boring and not for social media at all. It's hard sometimes to pull an account out of that. Like,
Really?
yes.
What would you do? Like, do you restart it?
No, we
Okay.
just start posting engaging stuff,
Okay.
but it is.
And it just takes.
It just depends. Like sometimes it's really hard. Like we've taken over TikTok accounts even that have low views because of the quality of video that's being put out. Like sometimes videos are over edited, and if you over edit videos for TikTok, like they a lot of times they won't get a lot of views, and so we've had to kind of pull stuff like that out. Sometimes you can use ads, and you can spend, like you were saying, like a couple dollars a day just to like start getting traction on content for home service companies. That's a really easy way to get your brand in front of people by using targeted zip codes. I don't recommend boosting. Like boosting, I feel like is kind of like Vegas too, where Facebook is like, hey,
Crapshoot.
if you give us $15, we'll put this in front of
Yeah.
10,000 people.
Like, oh, that's literally what I did. The AI one I did because it was on my personal page. It wasn't a business page.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna throw some money behind this one because it's a new video that I put out, and like I had some. They're supposed to comment AI. One guy was like, intelligent. He did stupid stuff.
Oh,
people,
no.
but I'm like,
Yep.
They're like, get
I'm
this
like,
out of here.
yeah, people like.
Yeah.
I just rolled my eyes because I'm like, "These are idiots."
I know.
You know who's killing it with these videos?
Who?
Derek.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Derek,
Killing
literally,
it.
he's like the one trades
so
company that I always
funny.
watch
He's
because their
so
stuff
good.
is
Have you
so.
seen his filter?
Yeah.
You know, like the
Everyone-
face filter, but it's an air filter. And he was
Yeah.
like, with the filter, without a filter.
Yeah.
It's
So
like-
good.
I was like, oh, like I was looking for like a filter to pop up or something, like a Snapchat filter.
Oh, you didn't get
And
it?
it was his air filter. Oh, I got it.
Okay.
So it was like without filter. And then I was expecting to see like some sort of like crazy facial filter or something. And all of a sudden he has like an air filter beside him. I'm like, oh, Derek, you got me.
I know.
See, and now if I was in the trades and I wanted to create content, honestly, I would like find somebody like that, and because especially if you're in a different market,
Copy it.
I'd probably
Copy it.
like, dude,
Sorry,
I'm gonna do the
Derek.
same exact. Derek,
I asked
you're a
We're
star.
telling
brother.
everyone to copy.
I asked Derek last week. We were in Vegas together, and I was like, Derek, where did you come up with this content? He's like, man, I'm just a psycho. I was like,
Just a psycho.
So
I was like, dude, this is hilarious. Keep doing whatever you're doing.
yeah, here's the thing, okay? And this is actually really good because I was just talking to a couple here who owns a heating and air company, and they were like, I was talking to her about whatever, and I started asking her about their social media, and she was like, oh yeah, my husband wants to do all these fun things, but like, what are we gonna do? Just like spend a Monday creating video? And I'm like, yes, like that's what Derek does. Derek does that. There's somebody else who I can't think of in my head, but they'll literally schedule people for that day or for the first 4 hours, and that is their job for that day. So yes, if there's somebody who works on commission, you're gonna have to pay them for that time, but like it's so worth it. And Derek actually, I've been in his video meetings before, and they're thought out. This isn't just like
Oh, wow.
they are thought out.
I think that's the hardest part is because like We don't
gets these ideas from TikTok. Like a lot of them are
Is
not.
it like
they're
just like
not.
what's trending or something?
Yes, a lot of his ideas are not. They're not just like things he's thinking up, and not to say that he's not. Like he's definitely.
I'm sure at some point you
creative,
just come up with
and
new
he
ideas
sees
on your own.
he sees the stuff.
Oh,
but-
the video of him with the song that I'll lift you up.
Where
And
he
they
picked up the office guy.
They picked up the office like there was a
Derek,
thing
you're
on
doing a
top.
great job.
I
'cause
do,
we're talking
we all
about your
know
videos
it.
and we all know the
And
videos.
everybody knows it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. It's so good. And here's the other thing that I will tell you guys about Derek is that when he started doing that, nobody was watching him. Like, and he also went through a lot of iterations to where he found this. And so he was working with a video editor, a video production team who did a really great job for him. And then they ended up figuring out they could do some of this on their own. But there was a whole iteration, and there was a lot of time where his videos weren't getting as much attention. But it was like over time that he continued to develop something that worked for him and for his team, and something that really showed like their personality in a way that was like very relatable to people, and it turned into this. So this is one of those that
watching Derek's progression as far as like we interviewed Derek. I don't know if you were on that interview. I think it was just me. I interviewed Derek 2 years ago now, and then we met each other at Rilla's event in Miami
that's the first time you met him.
in
No.
person
Oh, at the yacht
at
one.
the yacht club.
Okay.
Yeah, or the yacht party. And he was like, "You remember me?" And I was like, "Because we interview people online,
Yeah,
and you
it's
see them in
hard.
person, and you're like."
They like don't match the same. Oh yeah, that is so weird.
But then watching his progression, like his workout progression, like so, like when he first started doing it, now he's like ripped. I'm like, Derek, dude, what are you doing?
It all
It's
fits together
It's
though.
hilarious.
Like you
though.
see people now, and you're like, man, I want to be where Derek's at. Well, he didn't start there. Like you start at the beginning, and you start.
I think that's the
doing things
hardest
that
part.
you're
You can't hammer it into someone's head long enough. Like you mentioned batch, like it's called batch creating.
Yeah.
That's what I do for my relentless digital. I can't. I know some people that will create a video a day. I'm like, no.
No,
I can't get in the right headspace for that. Like, because for me, I have to like
be in the mood.
I have to be in the mood, and once I go, I'm good. Like I'll go for a couple hours, but it's like getting there,
Dude,
and staying there.
The worst is when you go, like you have this full script created or an idea, a concept created, and then you go record it, and you think you've recorded a really good video, and the audio didn't record.
Tersh, I want to talk about something that's a hot topic in the digital marketing space: missed calls. You were telling me the other day that you have a unique way of making sure 100% of your calls are answered. What the heck are you doing?
It's actually really cool. So, we always talk about AI and automation. Well, now I don't have to worry about missed calls anymore because we use Avoca.ai, and it's an AI voice agent. And every time a phone call comes in and say one of our CSRs are busy or even after hours, we've actually completely done away with after hours call center. Avoca picks up the phone and it announces that it's an AI agent. Her name's actually Sarah, and she's really cool. And it's great because every time you get a conversation going, and that entire conversation is transcribed and gets sent to Slack, text message, or onto their dashboard. And then if some of the CRMs that you use that we're using out there, actually, you can book the call through the CRM as well. So that's a really cool thing too. So, I mean, honestly, if anybody hasn't checked this out already, www.avoca.ai.
So, guys, if these problems are yours and you want to fix them, head over to www.avoca.ai and discover how they're helping service businesses like yours maximize every lead that you get.
Thank you to Company Cam for supporting today's episode.
These guys are changing the game for contractors with their smart photo app.
Keep your projects documented and streamline your team's communication with even your most complicated jobs.
Try it for free for 14 days and get 25% off of your first 2 months at companycam.com/SBM.
That is horrible.
Or like, dude, I
I've
will
had
do
that
a
happen.
Loom video
No.
where I'm doing like a full-on training Loom video,
I've done
and then the
video.
audio's not there. Or I have like 4 monitors on my computer. It'll be recording a different monitor, and I'm like, I'm on this monitor.
I
My
know.
bubble's on this monitor. Everything I'm doing is on this monitor. Why'd you record that one over there?
That sucks. That literally, there was someone I was responding to on TikTok, and it was like such a good question that they asked me. They asked me because I give like I feel like it's tough because I'm not a black and white person. I'm like a very gray person. So someone asks me a question and it's really hard for me to give you like an answer.
I know you don't want to hear this.
That's
but
marketing.
It depends.
Period. Literally, it's like it depends.
I
Depends
know.
on this, and
I
this.
know.
So
And
sorry.
I like to I like to give people things that are easy, right? Like I'm asking companies who are used to working in the field to make content. Like that's not an easy thing, and I want this to be something that they could actually do. And so I was sharing some different video ideas, and they were all videos that I see go viral for people. But this person was like asking me, why is this industry different than other industries? Like, don't you need to be like entertaining or all these things or whatever? And I recorded the video 3 times, and every time, like for whatever reason, it was turning green and my face wasn't there, and I had to like kept privating it. And the guy's like, I can see you responding, but I don't see the video. I'm like, I know. And I still haven't gotten back to it because I did it 3 times. And then I'm like, you know what?
All years, like,
I don't care that much anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I should respond to this.
I've done that before too. And then the worst is like, well, not the worst, but another example is like inside of Facebook Messenger. I'll have like, because you can hold the button down and
say
start,
something.
Yeah, and you start talking, and like I'll do a video one, and then it's like half my head's cut off. When I'm recording it, I can see my whole head, but then whenever it tries to send to the person, half my head's cut off, and then and the background sounds terrible. Like there was no noise at all.
Yeah.
And then you send it, and they're like, I can't hear a word you're saying.
It's like, never mind, it wasn't that important.
Yeah, whatever. Let's just transcribe it and send it to you in text.
Yeah.
You read it.
I was gonna ask you, Jen, before we wrap up, like, do you have any like tools or like things for people that want to get started, like things that they can use? I know Trish and I are big tool nerds. We have a lot of tools and ideas and stuff, but sometimes like I was talking to Asif from
Canada.
From Canada.
Yeah.
And he's like, because he recorded at Lennox Live. They was part of their thing they could record there. And they had like a teleprompter. I'm like, oh, there's like a teleprompter after your phone. Is it?
Well, big dude.
I didn't know that. I'm
Yeah.
But I get, if you're not in the space, you just don't know that stuff's available to you. So like, what kind of tool recommendations do you have for people?
I don't have like a teleprompter one. That would be a good one.
Big
But
dude.
one
BigView.tv, I think.
One thing that I like to recommend is that that you should be scheduling your content out. Like the idea of like recording a video, posting it is not sustainable for business owners. Like,
Don't you get penalized if you do that?
no.
Oh, okay.
No. I think the penalty and like, okay, I say no, but like we
Do you
post-
natively schedule or do you schedule?
Okay, so we natively post everything on YouTube because YouTube does seem to penalize our videos if we schedule them on a third-party tool. But
It's weird there.
it's what?
It's weird there, Why would it? Yeah. Good content, good content back, content back.
I know, but it's like 0 views. Like no, it will not.
Yeah.
It will not post. It will not show it to anybody. Like there's no chance. I don't know. And we tested it a couple times, like in different time periods, so we could test it again and see if it continues to make a difference. But so I think what happens a lot is that when people create content in the future, it's just not as good. Like it. And like we know this from so we know that the content that performs the best is like more natural storytelling content. So like, when we're live posting about being at this event, that's going to do really well. Well, honestly, it would do well if I posted it today or if I posted it next week or like, Colleen posted next month. Like it's going to do well no matter what.
You're looking at Colleen. Yeah. See, what you're referring to is she made a post yesterday, day
About
before yesterday.
Like all the events,
HR.
like the last month.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, you're in our story. What I'm saying is that what happens is that people get on Canva and they make these like fancy graphics that aren't engaging no matter what. So if you post them today or you post them next week, it's not going to be engaging. So what you have to do is just have more strategy in your content. And then if you schedule it out, it doesn't matter. It's
We
still
have
going to
this
be
one
good.
guy that makes posts for us on LinkedIn, and they're good. And those have the most engaging. Their infographics. Some of them are not right, and I have to go back and fix them and tell him like, "Hey, dude, like you
I
gotta
stopped
fix
looking
it."
just in case. I can say something like, it's not quite what I would have said.
Now he starts sending me to approve before he
Yeah.
posts in. But some of them are extremely engaging and their educational content.
Yeah. Yeah. So tools, scheduling tools. We use Metricool. Metricool is
Is that for use that for analytics for some of those videos?
we use it for analytics. We use it for scheduling. It's what I love about it is that you can put it on all the platforms, and I think that omnipresence is really important right now. I think if you're creating content, you should be posting it on every platform, no matter what.
You need to engage on every platform, right?
Yeah. I mean, yes, and I think that
I think that's a challenging thing because, like, I think because I've been using Facebook for so long, Facebook's just really easy for me.
yeah.
And then I go on to TikTok, I'm like, I didn't even know it was.
Oh my gosh, TikTok is so much easier than Facebook.
See, that's funny because I'm like, I don't know what it is. I go to Instagram, I'm like, really confused.
Okay, and
So
like,
I'm just like, nah, I'm just gonna stay at Facebook.
I think that this comes from a couple different places, but like then you need somebody to help you with it because and that's
Yeah.
like what
So what are you doing?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying
I am.
what I'm saying is like you guys talk a lot about using AI to do all of these things so that you're not depending on yourself to do
That's a
it.
good idea.
And it is like
Engagement bot.
right, but it's like the same.
That's a good idea.
Don't start Dirks down a rabbit hole.
It's the same thing. Is that if that shouldn't be your excuse of why you're not doing it. So you have to figure out how to do it. So
It's the second time you yelled at me.
Pointing
You're
right.
not invited anymore. Keep yelling at
I'll
me.
be back next year.
Yes.
So I think using a tool like Metricool can make it really easy to, if you're going to post something on Facebook, then you can also click LinkedIn, Instagram, like these other.
So like all the
platforms.
comments and stuff come in there too.
The comments do,
It's
yeah. But we just use like businessfacebook.com to answer things on all of,
What meta?
Yeah.
like use the Meta business.
Bleh.
Yeah,
It's not
talk
just
about
ads.
it bane my existence. I get it like every once in a
You
while.
guys are being really dramatic.
Yeah,
about it. It's not
You know what?
Hate-
We don't
I
mind-
hate meta.
We don't mind doing what I would consider like the hardest part.
This podcast is not going to
It's
go
like
anywhere.
we don't mind creating content like at all. That's
Yeah.
like not our issue. It's the other stuff. We're like,
Yeah.
just somebody engage with, like just do
Yeah.
do that
Yeah,
part.
well,
Yeah.
not only that, like, why are you gonna send me a notification in Facebook
And
that
take it to
forces me
business
to go to Meta?
Yeah, I
That
know.
I
doesn't
switch
even
my
go
account.
to
I
the
know.
correct Meta,
I
and then it's
know.
like,
That is so confusing. I know what
it's
you're
not
saying.
confusing, dude.
I know what you're saying. But engagement should be a part of your strategy, 100%. Like we actually intentionally engage on Instagram and LinkedIn from our clients' accounts because that's
What
like
our guy.
it's like visibility.
Yeah.
He's got like.
Yeah, I know. We know. We're like, is that Josh?
Oh, it's funny.
I don't
So
think
somebody
it's Josh.
asked us at like Rilla or AHR. They're like,
Man, you
yeah,
made
it's
some
so
mistakes.
weird because like you and Church know each other so well, but you guys like engage on each other's LinkedIn posts like you don't know each other. It's
Like, well, just so you know, that's not us.
yeah.
Well, what about when we were at Rilla and they like asked you if you were here and it was like no.
And what was it? And the same guy, he was like, "No, we're not gonna make it to that event." And I'm standing next to.
We like
They show it to you.
no, we took a
We
picture.
took a picture, a
and, like,
selfie, and then
and
he
posted it on there.
responded as a comment.
Yeah. So okay. So there is
So you may need a social media manager.
there
Just make
is
sure
some
you don't.
drawbacks. There is some drawbacks, and I will say like even with what we do, like no, we are not you. It's the same as anything that you offload. It's not gonna be exactly right, and it's like is the price that you pay for that, like the minor mistakes that get made. Really, honestly, it made for more engagement. It made for an
Well, and the
opportunity
stuff-
for somebody to come and talk to you. Like there really wasn't anything terrible that came from
Right,
that.
exactly.
And
The
so
stuff
And that's why I
The
don't.
stuff that we both use the same guy on LinkedIn, and it's like really good. Like
It is.
way better content than we would create. LinkedIn's like a different type of content,
Yeah.
right? Like it's very educational, how
Yeah,
to
it's
type
business.
stuff, very businessy. Where it's like the other one
We share the same exact content. So he now shares the same exact content on Facebook. Because I have a Facebook business profile. That's my
like for
personal
you.
one.
Yeah.
And he shares the content there and on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, tons of engagement. Facebook.
We take a different strategy. I mean, so okay, when we post on LinkedIn for contractors, we don't take a different strategy because that isn't a priority for them. The priority for us is just like giving them a presence so that like when they're building their own personal brand and anything, they have a presence and it's like there. But if we're looking at like, because we work with people on personal brands, we work with a lot of like support for the trades, and so for that, like especially for personal brands, like we post differently on LinkedIn, we do on Facebook and Instagram. And not to say that like you shouldn't, because like for Jen McKee LinkedIn is the same content as Keynote Marketing. So
Okay.
like
So you're seen as the marketing expert.
Right.
You have clients that want to post stuff on there because we all know personal pages seem to get a lot more leads, at least Facebook specific. Like personal, I can post on one's digital thing and I'm getting like nobody seeing it.
Right.
One like.
Well, that's
and
why
I post the same thing.
so important.
Well, and that's why I feel like all the they want personal because then it creates creators who want to create more content
Right.
and see that growth. But it's at the same time, some people don't want to post on the personal page.
I know.
Well, otherwise, their whole feed is like
You almost have to create 2 personal pages.
No, here's what I think. So we work with people not only doing personal branding masterminds, but we also manage some personal brands. And in those cases, like we have some access to their account because you can't schedule that kind of content. And it is like
that one sucks.
a little bit different.
Oh, on personal.
Yeah, you can't schedule.
Right.
No, like they can't. There's no API connection.
Yeah.
Profile.
Yeah.
If you wanna
business
build
pages,
that-
you can do it all day.
You want to build that for me?
Yeah, that would be probably really helpful.
Yeah.
I don't know that API is like, oh, we could do it the same way we do the network search
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Tap Recon. Yeah, the Chrome
Woo.
extension.
That's gonna be amazing. Okay, but so personal branding, like people ask like 2 different pages or how do you separate that? And I think that you have to decide like if this is something that's important to you and it's just what it is. Like I think at that point you're like, what else are you using it for?
Like, post on business page, share personal with more thoughts, or is there like any strategy or help there that?
I personally only post on my personal brand page, and then the keyword marketing content is created by a team internally. And then that content is what goes to LinkedIn. So then if I'm posting, I need to do nothing about LinkedIn, like personally, but just like
LinkedIn's a harder to follow because
there's not a lot of people there, but there's a lot of women there. There's a lot of women
sure.
at the trade.
Well, there's a lot of like manufacturers, distributors, like other
Right.
types of networking that you can do there. But
Yeah.
for like contractors that are trying to do this, it's not.
No, they're
It's not,
mostly on
it's not as
Facebook.
valuable unless you're in a promotion shop.
Yeah, they're mostly on Facebook. But I think that when it comes to building your personal brand rather than like having 2 different pages, is just like make that the priority and don't worry about the other stuff. If you want to send a picture that you don't want to post to your 5,000 followers, and like send it in the group chat. Like you don't need to post it on Facebook. So I think that that's what it ends up being, is that you just make it your personal brand, and your personal brand is some personal things and it's some business things. It's just like a combination of both and how you want to show up.
So whatever was on my
Years-
mind today.
Years ago on my Instagram, I was like, all right,
Nice strategy behind
I'm gonna create a personal brand, but then I don't want so I was posting kids soccer stuff, but then I was like, if I'm gonna post anything about work, I need to post that and not post anything about soccer. And then I was like, I should post only about soccer because I'm a soccer dad, like that type of thing. And I'm literally at soccer practice every 5 days, 5 days a week, And so I was like, which is it hurting me? Because like for me, there's people that I follow that like they post cars, and like I want to see their cars. I love seeing their cars. They have really cool cars. They have friends who have really cool cars. The moment they start posting about their family, unfollow.
You unfollow them?
Heck yeah.
You are harsh.
I don't want to listen. I don't care about your family.
I couldn't tell you the last time I unfollowed somebody, unless it was like
Bro,
certain people that we talked about.
I gotta keep that ratio just right.
You are crazy. I do not unfollow like that, but you know what? Some people do.
I have a feeling you're in like the very 1 percentile of people that do that.
No, I don't
No, I
think so.
think everybody has their own way of. I mean,
Honestly, because I did notice that whenever I started posting more about one thing than the other, I had less engagement and my following actually fell.
okay, so let's talk about this. Like, what is the important thing, right? Okay, so it's the same as when somebody unsubscribes from your email list. Like, if they don't care about this stuff that you're talking about, then they don't need to be following you or subscribe to your email because they're not.
So if they do care about AI and automation in the trades, and I've created several shorts or several TikToks on here's some cool automations you can build, and then I start talking about soccer, and they're like, I don't give a crap about
I
kids
don't
soccer.
think that many people unsubscribe that quickly or unfollow. I really don't. Because bringing that part in, it helps. Okay, so number one, well, it humanizes you, but it also creates content that's like way less, like people will engage with it without feeling like they're having to commit something. Like it's low It's low commitment, and you'll also reach a lot more people, a broader audience, which will then push your engagement up. And so then now your next
Make
piece
a
of
really
content,
engaging personal thing, and then hit him with
right. Then your next piece
right
of
away,
content,
like boom, boom.
that's no, he's not joking.
I'm serious. I've actually thought about that before, like because
That's a
we're
really
doing the workout stuff, and I see the views on the workout stuff. I'm like, that got a lot of views.
Now
I'm like,
talk
now
about
business.
AI.
Now business. We're gonna pump up your business with AI. You know what I mean?
Like I have some friends who are.
Why do you think I
business
put
owners.
pictures on all my sales posts? Like you put pictures just to pull people in.
Yeah.
Like it has, you know, like
I know. I gotta get better
What
at
is
taking
it?
more pictures because I
What
have to
is it
reuse
called? Like,
pictures over and over again because I do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like y'all in the airplane. You're like,
How
we're
about-
not actually going anywhere. Like,
No, that's. But it's like you posted one last week. I said I don't have any more pictures. She's like, well, I gotta share them with you.
Well, and then like Julie will take a gazillion pictures, upload it to Google Drive, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Wait a minute, I took that picture. I took that picture." And it's like 4 different people's posts with Julie's picture on it with people that we don't like.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they got the pictures.
how do they get in them?
Oh, they're in the photos,
Oh,
but they just like swipe and deploy. Julie's like,
oh
"Damn
yeah,
it, that's our post.
for sure.
That's my picture."
I feel
But
like I
they're
do that.
in the picture.
Well, I'm gonna do that. I don't know if I've done it yet, but that's my plan.
What?
I might have the photo
What?
of me and Julie.
Oh.
Like
Well,
I
just
might
ask
have.
her for it because
I
we
do.
have 12 terabytes of photos and videos. So
That's a lot.
It's hard to like sometimes go through. So you get some.
yeah, it is. That's organizing photos is a challenge. Photos and videos.
I have this idea for an app. She's probably late. It's probably too late. But anyways, that basically can go through photos and see the ones that are similar and pull out the best one. And I want it to be on your phone because, you know, like when you edit it,
Desktop and desktop program for that.
that'll do that. And
Yeah,
just
it's
be
like
like,
50
this is the
bucks a
best
year.
one. Do you want me to delete these? And what I want it to do is on your phone. So like, especially when you have little kids, you know, and you have to take like 30 pictures and then you're like trying to figure out, you find the best one of the kid and then like my dad is not looking at the camera or something, you know? And so what I want it to do is be able to pull all of those every single night and be like, of this group, this is the best one. You can delete this.
I don't know how much storage you save on your phone.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
that-
I need
Dude, we
that.
have 6 terabytes of cloud storage, and I guarantee you 90% of them are screenshots
Yeah,
or
right.
Yeah.
duplicate
It
photos.
takes multiple screenshots a day, and something like I only use it for one thing, and I'm
Me
like,
too.
delete them. I
No,
don't
that
need all
is
that, but I
that
don't
is
want
a
to go and
really that's a really great tool for AI, but it needs to just do it automatically and be like, do you need this? Yes or no, yes or no, yes or no.
$1 million idea.
Yeah.
$1 million idea. Yeah.
It's
Someone
like
will give you a lot of
There you
ideas.
go.
I got another
Let's
really
put together a
good
little
one that I
slide
need
deck.
to tell you about after this.
Put together a quick slide deck. You can get in front of billionaires, and they'll probably give you.
I guarantee you.
Well, I just keep
That's what all the
feeding
kids do.
things. I know. That's
They
what
were
I
just
think
talking. We were just
I
talking
know.
about.
That's literally what they do.
Seriously though, I go to Rilla and I'm like, I clearly need to find an AI tech business like right now.
It's literally what Josh and I did.
I know. I have an idea. Actually, ChatGPT helped me flesh it out the other day. So I'll tell y'all. Maybe you guys know what it is.
Okay.
Not right now.
If people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for that to happen?
Social media.
Which platform do you use for?
So I'm super active on Facebook. You can find me at Jim McKee or as Jim McKee. Zoom in. And then I'm here at Marketing on Instagram. My Facebook is like the one that I'm on. There's other people that help manage most of the other ones. I also have a secret TikTok channel, which I'm thinking about changing the handle of, but right now it's marketing for plumbing HVAC, which is where that's like my random one. I need to switch that one to get marketing. So yeah, I'm on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I have a podcast, Key to Growth Podcast, KEE, Key to Growth. It's sponsored by not sponsored. It's produced by Service Business Mastery Podcast. Yeah.
So if it sucks, blame him.
It's great. It's super great. And you can find actually Key to Growth Podcast on every social platform as well.
Good.
Good concept.
We appreciate you hanging out with us.
Thanks, guys. That's fun.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Service Business Mastery. Now that you are equipped with essential business advice from this impactful conversation, you are one step closer to becoming the successful owner of your dreams. If this episode has been helpful to your business journey, don't forget to subscribe to the show, leave a rating, and share it with other owners as well. Visit servicebusinessmastery.com to learn more.